Good morning. I had a great night last night, despite having to blow up my air mattress every 2 hours. But totally silent, all alone. It was awesome. Had the whole place to myself. But now we are 13 miles to Kennedy Meadows. Got a little bit of downhill, then it's mostly flat once we get down to the bottom. Just a little bit of ups and downs until we reach our final destination. I was just thinking how my feet don't really hurt walking on rocks out here, but the rocky sections are really short, to whereas like on the AT you're walking on rocks for like 500 miles at a time, or the entire trail pretty much. So I don't know if my feet are more used to the rocks now, or it's just because the rocky sections are so short, it really doesn't hurt my feet. Whatever it is, my feet are doing good. Coming up on Mantor Creek down there, you see some folks getting up. I'm going to fill up just a little bit. The next water source after here is about 4.5 miles. We'll get to the Kern River, and I think that'll be the last water source for any further top-ups before we hit Kennedy Meadows. Heading out of the Mantor Creek Tentsite area. Little top up on water. Next milestone for today, 4 miles from here, we hit the Kern River. Made it to the Kern River. This is more water than I've seen in the last 700 miles combined, which is hilarious. But I'm gonna chill here, take a good break. And we got one more final stretch to Kennedy Meadows. Four and a half miles left. There's a beaver dam. We are in beaver country. There's the meadows of Kennedy Meadows. $700-mile mark. 2 miles to go. Here's where the trail hits the road. And we got like a 3/4 road walk just down here to the general store. This is awesome. This is the most significant milestone on the entire PCT, is hitting Kennedy Meadows, the end of 702 miles of desert section and the start of the High Sierra. First stop, Kennedy Meadows General Store. Alright, so we've been chilling pretty much for a good hour plus or so at the general store here. I got my resupply package picked up. That's got a bear can, micro spikes, and some other stuff in it. I haven't opened it up yet, so I'll open it in a little bit and show you guys what I got. There's a shuttle going to be coming in a little bit that bounces back and forth between the general store here and Grumpy Bear's, so I'm going to jump on that, hit up the Grumpy Bear's place, and they do more of the hot meals and stuff. I checked out a little bit of the resupply options here, and I got half of what I needed. Got some dinners and stuff. And I checked out there's a small outfitter shop here, but they didn't have the sleeping pads I was looking for, so I'll check out the other outfitters. That's over by Grumpy Bear's as well, so we'll check back in once we get to the next place. Just got dropped off at Grumpy Bear's. I think I'm gonna head over to the outfitters first and check out what they got. So there's Grumpy Bear's down there. Triple Crown Outfitters, operating out of these Connexes. Back over at Grumpy Bear's, I got 99% of all my resupply shopping done at the Outfitters. They had a decent selection of bars and stuff. I think the only question I got is what I'm going to do for breakfast in the morning when I head back out. But I got 3 days worth of food and stuff. I'll go over that later. I got a new air mattress. I'll go over that later. Right now, it's time for burgers and beers. Get a cheeseburger and a milkshake. I think I'm done over at Grumpy Bear's. We got food. I got some stuff charged up. I'm heading out back behind their place. This is where their tent city is at. I think it's like a quarter mile back here somewhere. So we'll find a spot, get pitched up, and then hang out here for the rest of the evening, I think. Alright, I think I'm all set up in Tent City. There's plenty of space out here for a lot of people. Let me go over everything that I got. I got my resupply box. So in there, I've got my bear can. I'm going with the small one. I'm only planning on doing like 3 to 5 days max. So I think I can get away with doing the small one through the different sections through the Sierras. And with that, let's see what else I got. All this stuff was sent by my support team, Jake and Lisa, back home. Thank you very much. So I've got new insoles. The old ones have over 700 miles on them. I haven't seen what they looked like, but I'm going to toss the old ones, put in the new ones. The shoes are still going strong. They sent me some sunscreen. Awesome, thanks. I got 100% DEET. I'm hearing that this is where the mosquitoes are going to start getting really bad. I haven't seen mosquitoes yet on trail, but the flies and stuff are out. They're getting pretty bad. My shoes are still doing okay, though. They've got more than 700 plus miles on them, but I think I can get a pretty good distance out of the shoes. I got a new air mattress, and I'm currently sitting on it, but I got the, it's this one, the NOBO Tensor. Not my #1 choice, but that's all they had. I think this is going to work okay, though. Old sleeping pad with the holes in it. This thing still leaks. I think this is going right in the trash. I got a brand new fuel canister. The old one was just about dead, so that lasted me 6 months. Or 6 weeks. That's how little I've been using the fuel, so I got a whole new fuel can. I did my food resupply run. For this section, I figure it's going to be about 2.5 to 3 days to get me to Lone Pine. So I got a whole bunch of bars and stuff at the Outfitters. That's the one run by Yogi herself, and they gave me a free little PCT 2022 buff, so I got one of those. I'm gonna have to reorganize all my food later. For dinners, I've got a couple of these freeze-dried chicken Alfredo stuff from Peak Refuel. I haven't had these, but the last chicken Alfredo I had was really good, so I think these ones will be okay. Let's see what else I got. Got my micro spikes, those are good to go. I'm not gonna go with an ice axe. I think the micro spikes will be enough for the Sierras. It's a really low snow year, so I think this will be more than enough that I need. Other odds and ends that my support team has sent me. I got some freeze-dried strawberries. Cool, thanks for that. I got some jerky, thanks. We got some little sweet and sour sauces and some little olive oil packets. These will actually be really cool. I'll be using these. And I got a bunch of those little chicken packets, so I can munch on these. Cool. Ooh, some smoked oysters. That'd be kind of nice to snack on for later. And I never mentioned this in one of my videos, but my Nylaflume liner bag that I had on the inside of my backpack ripped at some point a couple of weeks ago, and so I just threw it away. I mean, it's only useful if it rains, and it hasn't been raining, so I got a brand new one here. These are from lightsmith.com. I don't even know if I'm going to use this yet. I'll probably just hang on to it till I get to like Oregon or Washington or something, till I, you know, really get in rain country. But so I've got a new one of those replaced. Whew, I think that's it. I'll report back if something else goes on later. I'm probably going to head back to the Grumpy Bear's place for dinner, get some food and stuff over there. In the meantime, I think it's like 4 o'clock, so for the next 2 hours or so, I'm just going to organize all my food, make sure it all fits in the bear can. I'll show you what that looks like, hopefully, and I'll just check back later. Alright, here's what our bear can looks like with 3 days of food in it. Totally full. 30% of the volume, though, is just filled up with the freeze-dried meals, so anything other than this, like if I have the wraps or I do the instant mashed potatoes and stuff, the tuna packets, I think I'll be able to fit 4, if not 5 days worth in here. But it's just looking a little heavy, a little full. I think I can manage otherwise, though. I think I'm going to head over back to Grumpy Bear's and start looking for some just snacks and stuff for the rest of the day. Done with dinner. I'm heading back to the tent. I think I'm just going to sign off here. Had a pretty good day today. Made a major milestone. We got resupply stuff done, and we got all the bear can and all that good supplies we needed for entering the next major section. So tomorrow is just going to be a total chill day. And I'm still kind of debating whether I may Nero out of here late tomorrow and do like 5 miles or something, but I don't know. I'm kind of playing that option. I'm still planning this next section. I don't need to get to the next town any earlier or anything, because I still gotta wait until the Memorial Day weekend is over. So anyway, I'll check back in tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see ya tomorrow. Good morning. I'm up nice and early. It's hard to sleep in when you're used to getting up at like 5 in the morning every time. So I'm just hanging out, and they serve breakfast is at 8, and that goes from 8 to 10. And then they start the shuttle every 2 hours at 10, going until 6 p.m. I think. So I'm leaning more and more towards just Neroing out of here. I'll probably just hang out here most of the day, get lunch and stuff at some point, and then take like the 2 o'clock or the 4 o'clock shuttle back towards the general store, and then hitting the trail after that. Probably getting like 5 or 6 miles in, and then it looks like a couple of like 15-mile days. And then it would be day 4, I guess. I would get into the next town, Lone Pine. So I think that's the current game plan. Otherwise, I'm just going to hang out here most of the day. Done with breakfast, heading back to the tent, organizing the rest of my stuff. It just took a while to get breakfast. I didn't even get my food till after 10. It was just a lot of people and just a lot of orders to process through, which is another reason why I think I'm going to head out today versus tomorrow, because if I go out tomorrow, it'll just be a really late start. So I'm going to just slow roll it out of here. At some point, I'll end up back at the general store, and then back to the trailhead. I'm only going to plan on doing like 5 or 6 miles or something like that today. And now I'm back up at the general store. There was a guy who was just going back and forth, so that was easy enough to get across. I got 1 extra freeze-dried meal because I'm going to be 1 extra night on the way to Lone Pine. So I think I'm all set there. I really don't need much else for snacks. It's only like just past noon, so I don't need to head out of here for another couple of hours, really. So I think I'm just going to chill and just load up on more food, snacks, and sodas and stuff. And then somewhere maybe around 2 or 3 p.m. we'll probably head out. I think I'm only going to do like 5 or 6 miles today. Just take it nice and easy. This whole next stretch to Lone Pine is going to be nice and slow. Like 16-mile day max, I think, somewhere in there. So anyway, I'll check back in when something else happens. Well, I can't wait anymore. I'm just too antsy to get back on trail. So I'm heading out of the store. I chilled there for about an hour or more, eating snacks and stuff. Doing the road walk back to the trail.
The winds have picked up a little bit, so it might be a little gusty today. But I'll check back in once we're actually back on trail and get a couple miles in today. Back on trail. Yeah, I was just getting too antsy. I just can't sit around and take a 0 day. I think it doesn't help that, like, I don't like being around crowds and a lot of people. And there's just way too many hikers there. There's probably 40 people hanging out at the store and 40 people hanging out at Grumpy Bears. I don't know. It's just too overwhelming for me. And I can't just sit around doing nothing. So I can't rush through this section to Lone Pine because of Memorial Day weekend, and I've got reservations already for Monday night. So I'd rather just kind of slow roll it, enjoy the scenery. We're not even gonna get to the first pass on this leg. It'll be after we bounce in and out of Lone Pine. Then we'll get to the first real pass. So this will kind of be the lowlands of the High Sierra section. I'm making my way through the Kennedy Meadows campground. This is primarily a car camping site, and it's a Friday afternoon at the start of Memorial Day weekend. So all the campers are coming in to spend some time up in this area. Back alongside the Curran River. Now we can get spoiled with abundant water. Well, the trail's opened up into this spot where there's like an old forest fire has been. All the trees have been downed. But we're less than a mile at this point to my intended campsite, somewhere along Crag Creek. There's looking back, a little meadow out in the distance. Crag Creek is just down there. And I believe that is my campsite. And I don't see anybody else here. This is awesome. I don't think anybody else was going to be leaving Kennedy Meadows like around the same time I did. Most people seem to be heading out like first thing in the morning and trying to do like 15 to 20 miles. Now we just got to figure out how to get down there without bushwhacking too much. Yeah, how's this for a campsite? This might be the best location on trail, especially since I'm all alone so far, hopefully for the rest of the night. Trail's up that way. I gotta make sure the creek is flowing a little bit. I think it is. The creek's down there somewhere. I just got my dinner cooking up. I'm doing a beef stroganoff meal from Peak Refuel. The directions were kind of odd because it says 3/4 cups of water, and I'm like, that's not very much. Usually they're like 1.5 to 2 cups. So I put that little bit in there, and yeah, that didn't work so well. So it was like, you need to double the water. So maybe it was for like half the serving size, but it didn't say that, so the directions are really funky. Anyway, so I got this like reseeping with double the water in it. But I took a little taste of it, and it tastes really good, so I'm going to have the rest of this later. But I think that's going to end it for here. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I don't think I've showed what my plan is for this stretch. I'm kind of recalculating it still because I didn't know what I was going to do today with like Neroing out of town and how far I was going to go. So my distances here are kind of whack, but basically I think we did like, I can't remember how many miles we did out of town here already, but tomorrow and the next day we're going to be like 2 15-mile days or something like that, and then basically I'm like Neroing into a pass, and then from the pass it's like a 4-mile side trail to get to a campground, and then from the campground I'll have to hitch into Lone Pine. So slightly complicated, but it is Memorial Day weekend, so there should be a lot of people coming back and forth to the campground at least. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.